Hello, today I will walk you through how I create a newsletter using nothing but Cloud Code and lots of my skills, of course. So I start by just starting up a new terminal in VS Code. I have my project open with all the skills in it. I have lots of skills. I just type Claude and we're good to go. First thing I do is I load the newsletter skill, the weekly newsletter. I just let it run for 5 seconds and see, okay, it says I want to start by creating this newsletter. I want to make the remark, make sure to commit, to check the commit date of the last, I'll just interrupt it first, newsletter. I want to publish them each Thursday. Today is Thursday, 5 to 26 FYI, just to be sure. So this will make sure, because I think the last newsletter was saying it was going for a long time, but it wasn't. So what it's now doing is it checks what was published in the past. It will also look when the last commit was, of course, because that's an important distinction to make. And it will check for potential subjects. It will check what was published last, just to be sure. So I'm now waiting for it. Curious what will happen. This is the biggest part, of course, of Cloud Code. Waiting for everything, so there's lots of things going on. He now figures out that number 5 was the last one, and this is the first live Thursday publication. So he's now going to look for all the most important cybersecurity news stories. He's also going to check my LinkedIn posts. If possible, I don't think this is possible yet. So that's another feature I have to add to my skills. But it looks for all relevant news regarding this particular site, which is easycybersecurity.com. And it's about enabling cybersecurity, NIS2 compliance, and even Siphon compliance. So basic cybersecurity measures that help you to protect you against cybersecurity threats, cyberprotection.com. It's running now. All I have to do is wait. This is typical. So I think a newsletter typically takes me about 20 minutes, which is mostly waiting, checking, doing other things. Typically, I'm doing this in between, so I start things up and I search for, or I do other things in the meantime. I work on another project, or I just let this run until it's finished. What made these kind of skills great is that I actually have a skill that helps me to improve the other skills. So whenever a session is finished, I start this skill to improve the other skills. And what it does is it looks at the history, it looks at the current skill, then it looks at all the skills available, and it sees whether things need updating, whether we need to keep our learning somewhere, all these kind of things. What's important about that is it knows the basic rules, so a skill cannot be more than 400 lines. It does some gardening, like it weeds out the too many skills. It checks for things that are overkill, that are too wordy. It has a style guide. It knows to be concise, and it knows if it can save tokens, for example, at runtime. Then it writes a script for it. All these kind of things. So when this session is done, and I notice there's lots of things that need adjusting. So maybe, for example, checking the commit of the last newsletter was a good thing. I would just say run the improving skill, and I will hope that it will notice this and mention it somewhere, or keep it together in the exact skill. So right now all I have to do is wait, so I'll pause the video for now and I'll come back when this is done. Okay, so just as I paused it, it was actually continuing. So let me show you what it did. Let's go back a little bit. Let's make this a bit larger. So great research, he says. Here's what I'm working with. The week is from February 2 to 8. Publishing today, February 8. So this is not correct. Let's interrupt this. before it continues. I want to reorder the dates to reorder the dates. So every newsletter gets published on Thursday. Thursday typing is also, and we make sure the current release version contains all relevant news since the last commit. I will later update the skill to do this. So right now, all the news from the last newsletter commit to today should be in scope. If you have any further questions, please ask. Okay, so this should help me to realign because I want to be sure that it starts on every Thursday. I had some issues with publishing all newsletters on one day, so that's why it's probably confused. This is a good example because this will also show me how I improve my skills. So I will keep the past newsletter as is. And okay, I will accept the first one. So it says start from week 6. Week 6 covers January 29 to February 5th. I will not update all past issues. And which date range format? The exact coverage period, of course. I wanted to show the exact coverage period. And I will submit this. Okay. So what this did is this helped me, and this is very important. If you use code, you need to be very explicit about what you need and interrupt it if you notice it going haywire. Let's take a look at the news while it's busy. So it says I had lots of commits, CSV, import with AI-powered field mapping, unified storage provider, event sourcing, storage settings, browsing compatibility. So what is interesting here is that it looks at my commits and that it tries to translate these into user advantages. So one of these things is the unified storage provider. So this is a cybersecurity platform, and one of the things that I allow is to store your assets with all its information in there. But as I had a talk with somebody of the Siphon instigators / ambassadors, he told me that this would make me an attack vector. So what I did is, instead of saying, okay, let's keep it like this, what I did is I said, okay, let's make all storage local in the browser or on a shared folder that you can share on a network drive or on Dropbox or on Google Drive or whatever. And that you can actually store this on the server as well, but there's the possibility to transfer it local. So the goal is to only have your data for a short time while you're working on it together on our server, or if possible, even always local. The only thing that happens is the updates go to our server. They get digitally signed there and then they come back. So this is secured by design, which is one of the main principles, of course, that we would like to respect. Okay, so what you see now is that it's starting a dev server in Chrome, and it wants to try generating some things. So it wants to try the actual site. In the meantime, I will look. So it's now checking the news, and it's also starting to generate potential cover images. So let me take a look at the cover image. So this is the first cover image. This is the second coverage. I don't like this. The current AI that I'm using to generate images is very bad at text, so I'll probably not use it. This is not bad, so this is not a cover image. This one I like a lot. It has this interesting vibe. So let's see what it's asking here. It's asking me to convert everything into some kind of web pages. So the idea is that, of course, the images, these are AI generated, these are very big, and it converts them into web dense format and then deletes the original ones. So so all these images are now gone. Let me refresh here and let's see. So cover A, I like cover A, but I think I like cover C better. So one of the things, for example, that I do is when I generate an image, it knows that it should not put too many things on the bottom or on the top, because that is where the text will come on the cover image. In the meantime, it's also checking its sources. This is a cover image for the platform post. Not too bad. Supply chain, I don't know, I don't like this one. So what I'll do, okay, I'll delete the images. Oh, I'm trying to type, but it doesn't work. Okay, I'll delete the images that I don't like. So I'll delete this one here. Let me just roll this back, move to recycle bin. And I also don't like this one. Okay, this one I do like. So this is about the current platform. And this one I like. And this one I also like, basically. Okay. I've deleted. Typing is a bit slow because I'm working on Bash on Windows. The ones I didn't like. Check for reuse and or generate others. In the meantime, it's already writing on the newsletter. So I didn't look what I normally do, but this is because I'm creating a blog post, creating a video, but typically I already look at the news that he has. The Brussels strap from the university. This is the prompt that they used to generate images. Okay, here we are. Russian hacker spoof, Brussels VUB event, platform spotlight. Okay, CSV import with the mapping, secure grants. Yeah, this was important. So the Security Cyber Resilience Act actually had some news regarding funding, and they give 30k funding for projects that help for cybersecurity. There was a big 0 day. Okay, let's go back because I want to see what it's doing. It's now going to create my newsletter. I'll ask it to show me a preview in Chrome. And it's also going to check the images that I had and then allows me to reuse them. Yeah, the 0 day one was very interesting. Let me go back. Fortinet 3.2 million, yeah. There's lots of industry supply chain breaches apparently. BASF, Dassault and Honeywell, these are the big ones. Wow. This is typically what I do during the newsletter. Normally I'm doing other things as well, but let's just continue this. I want to, yes, allow it is during the session. So you see how this newsletter gets created live. So let's see, for the supply chain it created a few other ones. Oh, I kind of like this. Okay, so it has cover A, cover C. This is good, this is good, this is good. I like this one. I don't quite like this one. This one looks a bit odd. I also like this one, so let's delete this one. I said I've deleted the images I don't like. See if you can reuse the other ones. So in the meantime, it's this is a preview of my newsletters. It's created the last one. dangerous invitations. I think I'll go for the other cover image because this one doesn't grab attention. Swap the cover images. Yes. Russian hacker spoof Belgium's VUB event. Oh wow. Let me zoom in so just so you can read this. So what they did is they created a fake event that acted as a staffer center for cybersecurity diplomacy. Victims who clicked the registration link were led through Microsoft 365 device code phishing workflow, handling attackers the full access to their email and cloud accounts. So it doesn't take into account the MFA. Wow. Yeah, this is because it's refreshing. They first engage targets and behind. Oh, this is really well prepared. Yeah, the as for oh my god, yeah, this is very well done. This is an attack vector I never considered. Okay, the other one, you can now import CSV files directly into Easy Cyber Protection, and the AI figures out which columns to map to which fields. So this is very interesting. You can take any CSV and say, I want to import this into and map it as devices or persons or networks or workplaces. And it just thinks, and it has some built-in AI. It runs entirely in your browser, so nothing gets sent to the server. That analyzes this CSV and allows you to map it. The browser-based AI, I had this, but I turned it off because it was not smart enough for now. So it's in there, but it's not being used. Everything is of course being used in our event sourcing architecture. So this means every single change goes through a separate system where it creates a line, just like an accounting system, and you need to process that line to save the same, to save the changes. So we have a backlog of fully auditable, secured by design. And then unified storage, the new storage extraction. Yeah, so this is something that allows you to work with local files or server sync data seamlessly with cryptographic signing for integrity. What this means is that you can basically you can actually save all your data, but it will be saved on your local machine, either in your browser cache or on a specific folder that you asked, or it will be saved into let's say, for example, a network drive or whatever. Let's see what it's doing here. Pick your supply chain image. Use both. That's why I kept them. Let's see what it did. Oh, and it's nice that it has a compliance ready, so links to the actual tutorials. Yeah, the first call for proposals for January 28th, offering SMEs grants to prepare for the Cyber Resilience Act. So this is 30K that comes available to SMEs for people who are working on cybersecurity. And then of course Fortinet FortiCloud, SSO 0-day, yeah, this is a big one. 3.2 million devices with a 0-day breach. So a 0-day breach is a new hack that has been discovered. Okay, it used single weak link is all it takes. Fortinet's authentication change snapped across 3 points. Yeah, I like it a lot. Apply the lost firmware. BSF Dassault system and honey breached by the same threat actor. 3 industrial giants, 1 threat actor, 1 day. Supply chain just got personal. Let's first, because I was reading this one. Review VPN configurations. Okay, so this is how you need to act when you have a Fortinet device. This is the supply chain attack it talked about. Wow, 2 terabytes of data from BASF. Honeywell. Yeah, this is a big one. You might be involved here. Yeah. It's indeed a big wake-up call. So you see, this is the newsletter. To be honest, I kind of like it. I always like it. This is so nice. I have function to share it on Twitter and even to share it on LinkedIn. So what I can do is I can actually print this, and then let's zoom out a little bit so you can see it. So this now creates like a short version that's perfect for posting on LinkedIn as a carousel. So it's a shorter version that does not contain all the information but just a short overview, and this gets published into my newsletter. I will do that later, but I think I'm very happy with what I have here. So let me go back. Let's undo the zoom, reset. Oh, you can browse the other issues. You can actually click here. You can say I want to learn about, okay, Thrifty Learn articles. You see Oracle 0 Day. So I will add the possibility to subscribe here. That's something that's still on my to-do list. Okay, so for as far as I'm concerned, the newsletter is done. Let's see. Do I want to proceed? Yeah, I want to read the screenshot. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I don't care. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to commit these changes. Yeah, so what it also is doing now is it's creating an image. Let me refresh. Come on, where is it? It's on its way. It needs to capture an image to share on social media. So I also generate that automatically. It might take a little bit. Just give me a second. It's on its way. Okay, so it should be here somewhere. Where is it? Refresh. I don't see it yet. I hope I didn't break it out. It's still waiting for the... It also updates the archive. It updates the... So people know what happened in the past, and the next time he will create a newsletter, he will scan this and check if it has been published before. Okay, now it's going to create the OG image. Okay, so it resized the viewport. It's probably on the wrong... yeah, because I browsed it. It's on the wrong page. I hope it will detect it. Yeah, this is not what we need. This is a good example of... I hope it will detect it. Let's just, to be sure, the OG image... Ah, okay, it detected it already. It says that's the article page, not the OG layout. Let me check how the OG route works. So it was on the wrong URL. You see, it does take up quite a lot of context. It says context left till auto compact 10%. So now we need to wait a little bit. Okay. Week 6 OG. Ah, okay, this looks better. Now it's going to take a screenshot and turn this into an image for my news, for my social media platforms. Okay, I hope that we make it before the compact. If we do need the compact, I will pause it. Do you want to proceed? Yes, I want to turn this, because these images that are generated are typically very big, so I convert them into tinier image. Okay, viewport validation. Let's just look just to be sure. Oh, there's some part too big. The OG image has white borders. Probably need to resize the browser before taking the screenshot. So I would assume that's because I used the browser it was using to check the pages and to do everything. I also have a validation script that runs. So this is something that the AI created itself, and it checks if everything that it's needed is there. So it says, okay, the OG page is missing, the newsletter page is missing, so it will it says false positives. Okay, I will need to update the skill. So what I did is I actually at first it was generating all the articles by copying everything, but this turned into like a dynamic thing. So it needs way less data, way less scripting time, way less tokens. But I assume I haven't generated a newsletter since then. So let's see if it updates the OG image. Waiting is the biggest part here. Yeah, I don't know if I will pause it a little bit and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I'm back. Apparently it tried to be smart and just generated a green border. So now I'm going to say the screenshot of the OG image. Oh, typing is hard apparently. OG image needs to be that exact size. Resize the full browser instead. Looks like I might not be able to make it because my context is running full, so I'll have to wait for a compact. I was browsing in the meantime, so I didn't follow it up, so try to be clever. Okay, let's interrupt it because it seems to try the same. I think there's something wrong with the size. Check the previous OG images and HTML that generated it. So you see here context left until auto compact is 2%. So it will probably take another few minutes. So this is what happens when you adjust things, of course, and you don't update the skill, then it still assumes all things. I have no idea what it's going to do now. It's going to try Python to check the image. Okay. I'll come back to you when this is done. Or let's just continue maybe, because it was quite fast. Okay, for now I'll just resize it manually, but I need to figure that one out later. I'll say I've resized the window. Escape. I've resized the window. Retake myself. Retake the screenshot. Please, let's be polite in case they become our AI overlords. You never know. Okay, so I don't know why this didn't work, but what I notice is the context window is getting full. It starts to get a little bit less efficient in following the instructions, so maybe that's what's wrong here. On the other hand, this is a good demo that the way AI works is it never fully functions, but it kind of does. So it works in two directions. It's very efficient. How long did it take to create this whole newsletter? Not a lot of time, and I typically I don't spend all my time waiting. I just review it when I'm done, and then I say, okay, this was good, or this needs to change, and then I just let it do its work and come back when I'm up for it. So it's like a task where I take my time, and it basically iterates until I have a newsletter that is fine for me. Right now I interrupted it during the generation, which is probably why it somewhat went out of bounds, but I wanted to show you, okay, this is how AI works, this is how you work with AI, and this is how you can generate newsletters in a very short time. To be honest, I didn't register the start time, but I will take a look in a few seconds what was my start time. And then I don't know if I can see it somewhere here, I don't know. But you can see the time on the bottom anyway. So you can always follow up. Okay, so now with because my context was full, it compressed the whole thing. It's now going to continue. I think this is probably, I would say this is the worst case scenario, but this is typically what happens with AI. So you can kind of trust it, but you always need to follow up a little bit. Let's see if it updated the OG image properly, or if it's still having issues. I don't know what it's trying to do. Okay, let's interrupt it because this is taking too long. This is taking too long. Let's just say it. Just take a screenshot of the current window as the OG image. If the dimensions are wrong, you need to alter the HTML template and reload it and take a screenshot of that. So I basically don't know, figure out what's wrong first. So what I do is I will put it in plan mode. So I did shift up, and I said, because we tried 2 or 3 times, this is taking too long. So I said, let's just change this, think about it first, create a plan. So it's now taking a snapshot. I'm assuming this is width and height 1200 630. So it should be good to go, I think. So it's in plan mode now. I say no, it is important that the output image has that exact size. Don't do anything unless you are certain. So it's going to verify the exact size of the previous OG image. Let's see what comes out of that. You can always do Control O to see what it's trying to do. So it's checking the previous images. I actually kind of like this demo because it shows you what is wrong and what is happening here. And this is typically how this is typically what happens when you are doing AI kind of stuff and you change some things. So if I follow this newsletter every time, it keeps running, but then when I alter some things, so for example, I turn the whole thing into templates now, some things might not work perfectly. So it gets messy and you need to know what you're doing. Okay. Okay, so what it said is okay. Let's check. Step 1, resize the browser. It created a plan now because I put it in plan cons. It's only 39 pics. Aha, okay. So apparently I made an error in my template, in my, oh no, I didn't. Let's see, step resize the window, set the 2.0 device scale factor, navigate reload to the OG page, verify the container renders at 1200px, take screenshot, convert to web page. It seems sensible. Let's see if it works now. So I say yes. So this cleans the context and continues doing what it does. And again, the screen is looking ah. Okay, so this is probably because it okay, so it figured out what was wrong. Now it tries to find, I think it's in the CSS. So it now found out that it's actually the error is in the template. So what I did is when I updated everything to templates instead of just copying every week every article, it made a mistake there. I probably did some refactoring and it figured out, oh boy, this is wrong. So this is now what's happening. Let's just wait for it. This is live, people, so this is how messy things can get. But next week it should be a walk in the park. Famous last words. If I don't change anything again. Let's see. It tries to change the whole thing. There's a second rule, CSS rule, container width, being applied from another style sheet. So it's now analyzing the CSS on this page and it's going to fix it. So it injects a global CSS which has a max width, which is probably a setting that I applied. Okay, here we are. This took way too long, but it did have to dig into the templates, which it typically doesn't need to do during a newsletter process. So that's probably, and it was caused by a global CSS setting that was not there before. So now the image should be okay and it should just take the screenshot. Okay. Let's hope the screenshot looks okay now, the PNG. It will delete it soon and it will just convert it to WebP. You want to proceed? Yes. So this will now convert into WebP and delete the original image. And now we are finally there. So I'm ready to publish. All in all, this did take a little longer than expected. But I think it's a good example because it shows you, even if you have AI, you still have to know what you're doing. So I have all these skills, all these things that generate the newsletter. Let's just wait a little bit until it wraps up. So it's double checking now to make sure that it changed, that it did not impact anything else. It's trying to build the whole page to make sure that there are no syntax errors. So you can see that I spent way too much time on generating the OG image, the one that is used for social media. But as you will see, I will now run the improve skills skill. So this will now update it and make sure that will not happen in the future. And you can see that it made a change probably to newsletter og.astro, where it renamed container to OG container, so it's no longer a problem. And then here probably what it also did, div class OG container, you see, This is the only thing it did, so it doesn't use the global anymore. So next time it will run anyway. I don't even need to adapt the skill. I'll just pause the video until it's finished. Okay, sorry about that. I got sidetracked. So it looks like everything is done. Let's see. No use container. So the only thing to do now is to commit and push this to main and release. So this will take the changes and publish these both on my dev environment and on my release branch, and they should be live in a second. Okay, it's running again. Let's see. It's now committed the changes. Let me refresh this just to be sure. Okay, this is empty. Okay, this looks okay now. What I'll do is I'll check the existing page if this was deployed to production. So let me take another browser. Yeah, where is my other browser window? Here. Yeah, I was looking for a list of computers so I could show you the import functionality. But I don't seem to find a list online of computers, which is unfortunate. I think there should be a CSV somewhere. On the other hand, I don't think anybody's so stupid to put all his devices here online. Let's just see. If I can find one. Let me pause for a second. Yeah, so sorry I got sidetracked yesterday and I didn't manage to continue the video. I did do some other things in the meantime, and then I realized, okay, I still need to update the articles. But this is the results, just so you know. I'll zoom in a little bit so you maybe can read it better. So we can actually, the news itself was very interesting to me as well, like I told before. This is a virtual event that an event that someone created impersonating university and some government officials. And they basically just bypassed MFA completely because they were using Microsoft. So, and they were acting like they were real people, so they contacted them up front. So I'm thinking about the platform spotlight. Yeah, I would love to show this one time, but this video is already too long. And of course, 30K available for SMEs for cybersecurity from Europe. And then the Fortinet FortiCloud SSO breach. Yeah, it's so lots of news. And the advantage is you can also just click on this. You can go back to previous issues, like for example AZ Monica. A few weeks ago, the hospital. And also interesting to know, I can actually upload this on LinkedIn. So what I do is I click this button. Let me zoom out a little bit, and this generates a PDF specifically for LinkedIn. And then I can just paste this, and I have my LinkedIn content ready to go. Okay, I think that's it. I don't know if you have any questions or any further remarks or requests. Feel free to read the newsletters. I think they are really interesting to me. But of course, I might be a little bit biased. Also, if you're into cybersecurity, make sure to check out the application itself. The small version is free for Siphon Basic, so you can get started really easily. Maybe I'll do a video on implementing an actual feature in the application as well, but I'm not sure yet that I will do that. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope to hear you soon. Bye bye.